Hello and welcome. You're watching Verdict 2016 with me, Ishan Russell. Verdict 2016 is, of course, our daily roundup of all the election-related news in the 5 states that are going to the polls. And first, the headlines that we're tracking right now. Prime Minister Modi hits the campaign trail again, addresses multiple rallies in West Bengal, lashes out at the Trinamool Congress and targets Mamata Banerjee over the Sharada-Naradan flyover collapse. Congress President Sonia Gandhi campaigns for a party ahead of the second phase of polling in Assam. Sonia accuses the Prime Minister of making grand statements abroad and spreading hatred in India. Asks voters to beware of BJP. Chief Election Commissioner reviews poll preparations in Puducherry. Naseem Zaidi meets senior police officials and representatives of political parties in the Union Territory to take stock before the polls. All right, let's first focus on the state of West Bengal, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed an election rally in the Birpara district today, mounting a frontal attack on Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. Modi said Banerjee boycotted meetings called by the centre to discuss development issues of the state. Modi also blamed Banerjee for carrying the left's legacy forward and ruining the state further.
जिन लोगों ने पिछली बार परिवर्तन 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 कह करके यहां के लोगों को गुमराह किया था, ये जनता जनार्दन आज उनका हिसाब चुकता करने का संकल्प करके बैठी है.
And joining me in the studio is Aditi Fadnas, political editor of the Business Standard. To help us understand, Aditi, with Prime Minister Modi now, the campaigning is really picking up now. We already had the first phase of elections in West Bengal, but the big issue that seems to be coming forth against the Mamata Banerjee government is the issue of corruption. How much resonance is it finding on the ground?
Well, to be honest, I would have thought that corruption would be the single biggest issue in West Bengal after knowing what the Sharda scam did to the ordinary people. As you know, the Sharda scam was a kind of a chit fund, modified chit fund scheme, which basically meant that people who were associated with political parties, who had a standing in society, went to people and said, give me 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, whatever you have, and I will return it to you, maybe double it or maybe treble it and other such fantastic things. Of course, that didn't happen, and what actually happened was a Ponzi scheme of a massive scale. Such a massive scale that the CBI is even now struggling to figure out what the ramifications of that scheme were. But that seems to have had no effect on the voting populace in West Bengal. Whether it's been the Panchayat election or any other election, they have voted for the very faces who divested them of thousands of rupees, hard-earned money, because employment and earning money is not easy.
So maybe a fractured opposition in that sense between the Congress, the BJP, the left. Now finally the Congress and the left have come together to present a united force. But in terms of this issue really coming to the fore, that hasn't happened, and partly the opposition to blame?
Maybe Mamata Banerjee is now waking up to the fact that corruption may be an issue, particularly in urban areas, and is therefore telling people, don't vote for those who you think are corrupt, vote for me because you know I am not corrupt.
Right.
So it's very much, I, me, myself kind of a campaign.
But that's perhaps the saving grace, that Mamata Banerjee, in her, the corruption taint hasn't reached at least her office.
Yeah,
so that could be the saving grace.
The problem is that she is not the only person in West Bengal. There are her representatives who are possibly making money with sanction from her. Many of the people who have been investigated against, not convicted yet, but investigated against in the Sharda scam are some of her right-hand people. Many of those who have been openly in front of our eyes, have taken money are her people. Many of them have said, we are sorry, we did it. So, clearly there's some voice of conscience speaking somewhere.
Okay.
But it's very clear that corruption is an issue, but apparently for the voting population in Bengal, it's not an issue.
Okay. Aditi Fadnis, do stay on with us because I'd like your inputs on other stories that we've been doing as well. And while reports suggest that the elections in Bengal are a straight battle between the left and the TMC, the BJP is working hard to make its own mark. Our correspondent Pranav Goswami spoke with the state BJP president Dilip Ghosh to know about the party's poll preparedness.
क्या लगता है आपको कि क्या संभावनाएं आप देखते हैं इन चुनावों में बीजेपी के लिए?
ये चुनाव पहला चुनाव है जहां हम असेंबली में और सरकार बनाने के लिए टारगेट रख के लड़ रहे हैं 148। पहली बार बीजेपी अपने बलबूते पर बूथ स्तर तक संगठन खड़ा करके लड़ाई कर रही है।
क्या आपको लगता है कि उस 2014 का जो मोमेंटम था वो आते आते कहीं दूर दिखाई दे रहा है?
नहीं, वो इलेक्शन एक अलग परिप्रेक्ष्य में हुआ था, उसमें मोदी जी का इमेज और देश का सरकार बदलने के लिए एक वातावरण थी, लेकिन उसमें ये पता चलता है कि बंगाल के लोग भी बीजेपी की तरफ आना चाहते हैं। बीच में जो म्यूनिसिपैलिटी चुनाव हुआ, लगभग 100 म्यूनिसिपैलिटी में हमने लड़ाई लड़ी। पहली बार ऐसा हुआ कि हर वार्ड में कैंडिडेट खड़ा करने का हमको अवसर मिला। इसके पहले आधा भी कैंडिडेट हमको नहीं मिलता था, वोट भी बहुत नॉमिनल मिलता था। आज कई म्यूनिसिपैलिटी ऐसा है कि जहां 17% से भी ज्यादा वोट हमको मिला। इस बार 290 सीट में जो हमने कैंडिडेट खड़ा किया, उसमें बहुत नौजवान लोगों को आगे किया कि आगे 2-3 साल में लीडरशिप खड़ा हो जाए। ये नया प्रोसेस शुरू हुआ है, प्रशिक्षण हुआ है, तो लोगों के मन में भी एक बीजेपी के बारे में नई उम्मीद जगी है।
बीजेपी कौन से मुद्दों को लेकर जनता के बीच?
देखिए, बीजेपी का तो मूल इश्यू विकास रहता ही है। मोदी जी विकास पुरुष हैं, इसलिए उन लोगों ने उनको जिताया है। कुछ स्थानीय इश्यू जिला पर होता है, यहाँ शहर में, यहाँ रेल का उसका अलग समस्या है, तो सब मिला करके हम बंगाल को नए ढंग से खड़ा करने के लिए हम प्रोसेस कर रहे हैं।
आप की सीधी लड़ाई किससे? क्योंकि एक तरह से देखा जाए तो जब ये गठबंधन बना लेफ्ट और कांग्रेस का, तो आमने सामने की लड़ाई टीएमसी और उस गठबंधन के बीच में दिखाई दे रही है। बीजेपी कहाँ खड़ी है
आज? जहाँ खड़ी है बीजेपी के साथ बाकी लोगों की लड़ाई है। बाकी लोग दूसरे तीसरे में जा रहे हैं, उस लड़ाई के उस पोजीशन के लिए लड़ाई हो रही है। बाकी लोग मेरे से लड़ रहे हैं।
Let's now shift focus to the poll news from Assam. And in Assam, Congress President Sonia Gandhi accused Prime Minister Narendra Modi of spreading hatred in the country and cautioned voters to vote against the BJP's communal politics. Addressing a rally in Lower Assam's Sarukhetri district, Sonia Gandhi said that the Prime Minister has been making false promises and no development can be seen at the ground level.
करने के 2 साल बाद भी मोदी जी, भाजपा की मोदी जी और उनके मंत्री असम में घूम घूम कर बड़े बड़े वादे कर रहे हैं, लेकिन अपने पिछले 2 साल की उपलब्धियों का कोई हिसाब किताब नहीं दे रहे हैं।
Let's go across to our correspondent Vishal Dhia in Guwahati with the latest. Also, Aditi Fadnis, political editor of the Business Standard, is here with us in the studio. Vishal, coming across to you first. As far as the Congress is concerned, now the big guns from the Congress, of course, Sonia Gandhi, the party president, campaigning over there. But it's a tough fight for the Congress. 15 years of incumbency they're fighting. And given the BJP has a fresh face, it's a neck-and-neck battle, isn't it?
Well, yes, indeed, Ishan, it is indeed a neck-and-neck battle because this time around it's the anti-incumbency factor which is troubling Congress a lot. And 3 consecutive terms in power and then seeking a 4th term with the same chief minister. That's, sort of seemingly, if you look at the attack coming in from the opposition, the BJP and the AIUDF, both these parties are attacking not only the Congress party but also its chief minister who has been in power, who has been in the seat for 15 long years. They point out issues related to development. They, the BJP and the Prime Minister himself had gone to the extent of comparing the age difference between Tarun Gogoi, the Congress's chief ministerial candidate, and Sarbanand Sonowal, the BJP's chief ministerial candidate. So obviously, it's not only about issues, but it's also about the people also. It's also about the leaders who are the face of their respective parties in these elections. But in the lower Assam, where the second phase of polling is going to take place on 11th, it seems the Congress is engaged in a very tough battle with the AIUDF, Badruddin Ajmal's party, on many seats. And today, we spoke to Badruddin Ajmal as well as other senior leaders of the Congress, and they seem to concede to this particular fact that it is between Congress and AIUDF that the much of the battle in the second phase will be fought, and BJP will definitely have a major role to play in seats in and around Guwahati, which is also known as the Kamrup Metro District. There are 4 seats.
Right.
BJP is ally, AGP has some influence on in Kamrup rural, and then BPF, another ally, has a considerable influence in BT80 areas. So effectively, this phase is going to be a deciding phase for the Congress and for the AIUDF, both of them, wherein as to how much seats will they secure in these assembly elections.
All right, Vishal, thanks very much for that update. We'll, of course, keep coming back to you for more as it happens on the ground over there. Aditi, coming across to you. As far as the Assam is concerned, as Vishal was pointing out, the second phase is where the AIUDF is also stronger. And the issue that Sonia Gandhi raised today of communalism, of the Prime Minister himself accusing him of spreading hatred in the country, how do you think, what is the target for the second phase for the Congress party? Because it's a battle for survival for it, isn't it?
Sure, absolutely. And I think we are going to see a very interesting second phase. The first phase, as you know, had 65 seats. It went to the polls on the 4th. The second phase is going to the polls next Monday, and that will be the end of the Assam Assembly election. In the first phase, the BJP may get at around 25 seats. In the second phase, it will be harder. But the division between the Congress and the ADUF among the same constituents,
right,
that is the minorities, could lead to the BJP getting an edge.
So therefore, Sonia Gandhi's statement could be viewed in that context?
Absolutely. And not only that, I think she is not really explaining why her party and the ADUF are contesting against each other. Theoretically, they're allies, but actually they're opposing each other.
Okay.
So she hasn't really explained why. And I think that the answer to that question is the reason why the votes will be divided.
Okay, so division of votes really could be benefiting the BJP there in that case. But also the fact that the big problem for the Congress is 15 years, the same man is in power. And as Vishal was pointing out, I mean, the huge age difference between the contender chief minister and the sitting chief minister is something that even the Prime Minister has been using, targeting the young voters, the first-time voters?
Maybe, but also maybe not. Because Tarun Gogoi is considered a very good administrator, which he is, there's no doubt about that. He's got experience, he's got enormous financial acumen, and he has actually, the AGP, when the government left, the state was in a mess, in a financial mess. He has actually managed to put things back on the rails, although Assam continues to be among the poorest states of India. But it was because of his steady hand at the helm of affairs that Assam did not slip deeper into misery and underdevelopment. That said, there are many good things about Assam. One good thing is that education has been particularly, it's been growing steadily, and has been particularly, children going to school, has been particularly fast in the minority-dominated areas.
Right.
These things are very important in the long run. They may not be immediately, you may not see immediate effects, but in the long run, they matter a lot. So, all said and done, people of Assam dimly realize that Tarun Gogoi's experience helped them. But at the same time, now, every day you eat the same food, you're tired of eating the same food. So you want to change. So now we have to see whether a new government, when it comes to power, and if it is not the Tarun Gogoi government, whether it will display the same level of wisdom and understanding and sensitivity to all parts of Assam.
Indeed, keeping Assam together. I mean, 20 years ago, it was a completely different state. Thank you very much for coming in, Aditi Fadnis, and helping us understand the politics of Assam and West Bengal a little better. Thank you so much. Well, moving on now. Despite facing a severe anti-incumbency factor in Assam, the Congress is confident of returning to power in the state for a record 4th time. Our correspondent Vishal Daya spoke to senior Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad ahead of the second and final phase of polling on the 11th of April.
People say anti-incumbency is a strong factor this time around, which is taking a lot of effort from your side.
Well, let me assure you that this time we are going to make a record, and we are going to form government for the 4th consecutive time. Let me also tell you that there's no incumbency factor at all. As a matter of fact, the people want the continuity in the government. Large number of industries were coming up because large number of concessions were being given by the government of India. The policy so conceived and implemented by the UPA government. But ever since NDA government came into power at the national level, that policy for northeastern state has been wound up, as a result of which the people of this part of the country are very much agitated against the Bharatiya Janata Party government.
The Congress and the AIUDF has an unsaid understanding with each other, and AIUDF is a B team of Congress.
Well, this is our allegation against the Bharatiya Janata Party. They are supporting, they are funding, they are mapping the AUDF because they feel that if AUDF gets more vote, that will come out of the Congress bank. So I think the people of this state have seen through the mischief played by the Bharatiya Janata Party.
The issue of illegal immigrants, the BJP has that as one of the major part of its manifesto, and it's leveling allegations against both Congress and AIUDF that both these parties are using that particular issue to garner votes. They've been doing so for the last 15 years. How do you respond?
Well, this is the creation of the Bharatiya Janata Party. They create issues during the elections which are of communal nature because they have hardly anything to offer to the people of Assam. Since they do not have anything to offer to the people of Assam, now then they are banking upon this communal issues, immigrants and Muslim immigrants, Hindu immigrants, who is original, who is not original.
Thank you so much. So this was the leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha and senior Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad saying that the Congress will secure a majority in Assam once again for the 4th consecutive term, and they would not require support from any other political party. With camera person Vivek Matpal, Vishal Dahiya, Rajya Sabha TV, Guwahati.
Time for us to take a short break. Lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned. I am Ishan Russell.
I'm Tracy Shilchi and you're watching News Tonight.
Together with the team of our
Dedicated professionals from across various fields.
This is Shyam Sundar,
Vishal Dahiya,
Akhilesh Suman,
Frank Pereira from Beijing, China.
Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
We bring to you
the news that matters here on Rajya Sabha TV. Welcome back. You're watching Verdict 2016. Now news from Puducherry, where the Congress threatened to boycott the election in Puducherry if their complaints against the Puducherry government are not addressed. The Congress demand came in the meeting with Chief Election Commissioner Naseem Zaidi and his team on Thursday.
Congress leaders in Puducherry complained to the Chief Election Commissioner that the government has recruited more than 5,000 people after the Model Code of Conduct was in place in the Union Territory. The party said that the appointments still continue through fraudulent means. They threatened to boycott the elections if the Election Commission did not take action.
This time, we made a serious complaint regarding the appointment after declaration of 4th March, our Puducherry election. After election code of conduct is coming on existence, the Puducherry present government has appointed more or less 5,000 youths without knowledge of employment exchange and even without knowledge of the department, head of department and government.
The Election Commission has taken note of the Congress's concern and said that the matter is being looked at seriously.
Complaints with regard to appointments have been brought to our knowledge. We have held the meeting with the Chief Secretary. We are generating certain informations and based on those information, very soon we are likely to issue directions.
This is the first such meeting of the Election Commission with the political leadership of the Union Territory of Puducherry after the announcement of the elections in the state. The CEC patiently listened to the grouses of the political parties and said that action would be taken to ensure free and fair polling.
CPF will start arriving very soon. The final date will be decided in consultation with the coordinators and other authorities. They will be associated with area domination between now and 72 hours before the polling day. and during this period also they will be associated with flying squads, and on the polling day they will move to the polling booths.
Meanwhile, the BJP made a demand of its own and asked the Election Commission to check free flow of money during the election. Polls for the 30-member Puducherry Assembly will take place on 16th of May and nominations will begin from 22nd of April. This is Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Our correspondent Akhilesh Suman spoke with the three-time Chief Minister of Puducherry about the upcoming elections and his party's issues and demands in the polls.
Sir, 3 times Chief Minister of Pondicherry, it's a good achievement in itself. So how do you think that, what are the challenges that the state is facing now?
Now we are going to implement so many schemes for our education as well as health, particularly giving very good education to our student, as well as we want to develop our Pondicherry, one of the model city, like model city.
Becoming a union territory, what do you think that centre should do more for Pondicherry?
Fund for the development of our Pondicherry, UT, because this is a very small place. Revenue sources is very limited one. So we need money for the development of our state.
You don't get from Finance Commission?
Before so many years back, the government of India funds 7%, but our UT revenue wanted 30%. Now that is reverse this. Our own sources is more than 70, that the government of fund only 30. Okay, so now we are expecting more money from the government of India for implement all these schemes.
Okay, sir, thank you so much. So the Chief Minister of Pondicherry expects that more funds should be devolved to the state so that it can develop in a different way.
And let's go across to Puducherry, from where we're joined by our correspondent Akhilesh Suman. Akhilesh, we just heard you speak to the Chief Minister of Puducherry, and funds from the centre, of course, are one thing that the Union Territory is complaining about. But the Chief Minister, 3-time sitting Chief Minister. So as far as the incumbency factor goes, what's the status over there?
Yeah, naturally, when someone is for 3 terms Chief Minister, naturally he will be having incumbency situation. But the Chief Minister's quality is that he is very humble guy and he is very approachable. That is his positive thing as a Chief Minister in Puducherry, the state which has just 30 members, and he connects with every section of society.
Right, we seem to have lost that audio link with Akhilesh. We'll just try to re-establish that. All right, we'll get back to Akhilesh in a bit. Meanwhile, we'll move on now and get you that update a little later. And finally, let's also now take a look at some poll snippets in Polpuri. District Administration of Kamrup in Assam organized a voting awareness rally to create awareness among the disabled people of the society. Thousands of people, along with local film personalities, participated in the rally. After 91 years, Gyan Singh Sohan Pal is the oldest candidate in the West Bengal Assembly elections. Starting his political journey in 1962, Pal is contesting in IIT Kharagpur as a Congress candidate. He's been elected as Congress MLA 10 times in 52 years. Pal was first elected from the constituency in 1969. With campaigning for assembly polls underway in 5 states, the Election Commission has reminded political parties about the bad effects of plastic and asked them to avoid using it for making banners and posters for electioneering. The Commission asked parties to advise their candidates suitably. That's all from us. Bye.